Live from the internet, this is the Crystal Chronicles, your official Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia podcast. I am your host tonight, not the fabulous Pierre, but the fabulous Mark, and I am joined by, as always, our special friend, Mino. Hey, Mino.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good. And we have a special guest host with us because he could not make it today, and that is Mark. I'll let you do the introductions.
Yes, our special guest, all the way from across the seas. It is our good friend and yours, Manta. Hey, Manta, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going? Pleasure to be here.
All the way from the British Isles, right?
Oh, don't you dare. Don't
It's
you do this to me.
tomorrow where Manta is, and he was
It
good
is.
enough to stay up, stay up till 2 a.m. To join us for the show and everything we have to talk about tonight. So, without further ado, let's get started. So there was some news before we get too much into content. We have another. Now, did you notice? Have we had this? It says this is our third gem sale. Have we had 3 different weeks of gem sales and I've not been paying attention during the anniversary?
Shit. I mean, when I saw that too, I only can recall 2,
Or is
right?
it
Like, right?
this is the third week. So either way, there's a new gem sale. If you are looking to buy gems because you spent them all, now might be a good time to do that. It is also a time of a minor update. That update brought us, I believe, Garnet and Zell's Awakenings and a few little fixes here. So there you go. Yeah, we do have, there have been 3 sales, 1 each week. So you're going to look for that. So thank you. Oh, Lord. Hat Exy, I have no idea how to, if you can.
I'm going to go with Hate 13.
Okay.
Hot 8.
Hot 8. Hate, I'm going to assume it's Hate. You can correct us. But I know this guy very well because he's the only person who's been running Vaughn on my friend.
Oh, nice.
Since Vaughn came out. So
Friend
he's
Vaughn.
been my go-to Vaughn for the longest time in this game.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I should be sprouting a harpoon. Yes, whales unite. We've all been there and are there. It's okay. It's nice to spend money on the things you love. Hate 13 per Hate 13.
Hate 13.
There you go.
That's not
I got
fair.
it. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. It's nice to have you. Welcome to the show. But today, gentlemen, is Valentine's Day. And if you haven't been paying attention to the internet, which you shouldn't because it's Valentine's Day, Square and Square via DFFOO have wanted to share some Valentine's Day love to our community. So I caught a couple things on the internet today. First was from Square Enix's official site, and this is the 5 great Final Fantasy love stories. So I'm just going to briefly tell you what their top 5 Final Fantasy love stories are before we start. And I want to see where you fall on this. Do you agree with their list or do you think this is rubbish? So, hey, if you're listening on Twitch tonight, you can tell us what are your favorite Final Fantasy love stories. So they say number 1, Noctis and Luna Freya. And of course, those are the protagonists from Final Fantasy 15. Now, I want to read one thing from this little, because there's a little like spiel. I want to read one thing. These 2 are arranged to be married and determined to make it happen. Have you both played Final Fantasy 15?
Oh,
I have. Yeah. Okay, so we all have. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I spent the first 50 hours of that game fishing, camping, hanging out with my bros.
Determined to make it happen.
Yeah, not rushing to see Luna Freya, like just hanging out, Yeah, so next one, of course, Tidus and Yuna.
Hope's mother and Hope's.
Yeah, Nora and what's Hope's father's name? Anyway, Mr. and Mrs. Hope. So I literally today or yesterday I watched the ending of Final Fantasy 13 just so I could watch Hope cry. Again,
Jesus.
it's good. It just
Oh my
always
God.
makes me feel it's cathartic. It's cathartic. I think that's what reminiscence catharsis. That's what we're getting next week. The final reminiscence. I think that should just be it. It should just be the ending from Final Fantasy 13 because that's very cathartic
Just Hope
for
crying.
me.
The final wave is just 3 hopes.
Yeah, 3 hopes. 3 hopes
You
will
get to
fill him.
destroy them.
Yeah. So Tidus and Yuna, of course, great love story. And of course, they want a Hawk Final Fantasy X, 10-2 remaster. So that's why that's on the list. Number
Hold on,
3.
wait. Before we go on here,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
is this going in ascending order, or
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
is
Yeah,
one
no,
the
we're
best,
going
or...
going from top 5 from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 being the
Okay.
best.
Okay, good that Noctis and Luna are
They're on
that
the bottom
low.
of the list. Yep.
But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
still top
sure
5.
it's
Still
just
top
to
5.
boost their shitty
Yes.
sales numbers.
You got
'cause
well,
God,
yeah,
they
you gotta
need it right.
you gotta hawk the new game. So
Yeah.
number 3, Aerith and Zack.
You know, I'm not opposed to that one actually.
Some love
Good,
to
you
Crisis
still
that
Core.
one's that one's not shit. Tidus and Yuna are technically not shit, but I didn't like Yuna as a character.
Oh.
I don't know how much I liked him as a.
Nothing
That
about
hurts.
Zack is not shit.
That
Wait,
hurts
Yeah.
me.
wait, no, hang on. Nothing about Zack is shit. Sorry, I messed that up.
Yeah.
Nothing about Zack is not shit. Not definitely shit. Wait, what?
Damn it! I just ruined my own shtick.
Okay, the next one, Maria and Draco.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Who?
No, those are the opera characters
There
in
you
FF6.
go. So when you think
But
about
I'm
Final
so shocked.
Fantasy, when you think about Final Fantasy 6 power couples, who do you think of, Mino?
Who wrote this? Wait, was
They're number 2.
This
yeah,
is
that's number
that
2.
was number 2, right?
yeah. No, number 3 was Aerith and Zack.
And number 2 was Maria and Draco, right?
Yep, number 2 is Maria and Draco. So
How
so
the
who's
hell
what? Oh,
did
you're
they-
asking our opinion
Yeah,
before
yeah.
1?
no. Listen. So listen to the sentence.
Okay.
When I'm reading right from the website. When you think
Oh.
about Final Fantasy 6 power couples, who do you think of?
Edgar and Realm.
Oh, that's
Jesus.
not. That's not. That's not.
What's
good.
wrong with you?
Yeah,
You're
thank
also
you.
pushing edge and variety.
It's not
over
the
here.
loving
We're not watching
and
Thank you,
respect. Guys.
Thank you, Hate 8, because the right answer was Celeste and Locke. For all of you listening at home, the right answer was Celeste and Locke, but Square Enix wanted to be fun and say, hey, there's also a really good sub-love story in this game, and that is the love story of the opera that contains Maria and Draco, the Western Army's love conflict. So, there you go.
How did Squall and Renoa's
Because-
contrived love plot not get in
No,
there?
Yeah, I'm actually
this
really
is number
surprised 'cause-
1. No, number 1, Squall and Renoa, because that is the best
Oh,
love
wait.
story in all Final
Wait,
Fantasy.
hang on. I thought Cells and Locke was number 1.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
thought you were
no. They didn't. Celeste and Locke is not on this list. They put Draco and Maria in that in terms of it.
I'm so confused.
Oh, that's okay.
So let me just go quickly back. It is their list from the Square Enix website: Noctis and Lunafreya, Tidus and Yuna, Aerith and Zack, Maria and Draco, and then Squall and Renoa is number
Okay.
1.
That makes more sense.
Perhaps
Alright.
more than any other game in the series, Final Fantasy VIII is a love story.
That's fair. You know what? I don't like either character that much, but I will admit that FF8 went all in on their
All
love
in.
story. I think that was like their central. That was like the only thing that was happening in that story. I think.
Only after Squall died, you know.
I like,
They
uh,
hated each other before that.
I like Final Fantasy VIII the best, and I love both those characters the best. So, thank you, Square Enix, for that wonderful, thoughtful little thing. Any other romances that you want to bring up before I share what DFFOO posted today?
Yeah, I wanted to say, what are your personal opinions on the best romances in the Final Fantasy series?
Yeah, Quina and Amaranth. I think that's they had a nice relationship.
Did they?
I'm more
Queen-
of a Queen
Queen-
of Eevee person myself.
Quina
but-
and Breakfast was good. That was a good story.
Queen and frogs.
Yes,
can't
forget
what's
Kreese
called,
says
Freya.
Garnet and Zidane, Laguna
Yeah.
and Rain.
Oh
Very
yeah,
nice.
Garnet
Garnet
and
Final
Freya.
Zidane's
Fantasy
a good
VII.
one. That
Yeah.
that should have made it on, but
Yeah.
yeah. What about you, Monta?
I would say Freya and I can't remember the name of her
Mm.
boyfriend. It was like
Yeah, Sir
Jin or something.
Fratley,
Yeah.
Sir Fratley, right?
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
it.
a
I
good
was
one
close.
too.
Fratley, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Great
They missed a
story.
lot of good ones, I think. And
Great.
for me, it's got to be Cecil and Rydia.
Yes.
Oh God.
No.
Banned from Twitch.
Cecil and Rosa, obviously, is what he meant. Damn it, Mino. You're gonna give us
Waka and Lulu, Dojo
Oh
Dan
no,
says
Oh,
in
no,
Twitch.
that was even
no,
more.
no. Bad Dojo Dan.
Well,
We
hang on.
don't
In
talk
fairness, though,
about that love. That's
in
a
fairness,
bad
there was
love.
only like 3 people in Besaid, so
I like Waka. He's
it was
okay.
3 people in Besaid. It was Waka, Lulu, and Waka's brother, and Lulu had already been with him. He died, so
Yeah,
there was
so
literally one other person left.
I don't know if you're gonna date one of the Aurochs, you might as well. But
Well, you don't want to go for Bappa and
Bappa, brother,
Oku and whatever.
brother.
How about Waka and Riku, or like Himari and Yuna? I feel like those are better
Jesus.
couple.
Wow.
God.
I think we need to get off of this
No?
subject
Okay.
very quickly
All right.
before.
All right.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, Mark.
Yes.
The one with the power.
Kree says Kipa would have been better for
Keepa.
Lulu than
Poor
Waka.
Chapu. Yeah. But DFFOO posted from their Twitter site a poll, and the poll was: do you want Cloud and Aerith or Cloud and Tifa? Who's the better couple? So Cloud and Aerith or Cloud and Tifa? Who do you think's the better couple?
Are we actually weighing in on this?
Yeah.
All right. I know I'm on the unpopular side, but I do Cloud and Aerith. I don't like Cloud and Tifa, but I know that on the website that won over by an overwhelming amount.
Yeah,
I
Cloud
think.
and Tifa was taking the lead considerably.
Mm.
I responded to
Use-
them. I replied to them asking why Cloud and Barrett wasn't an option. So that seemed like a good coupling.
Why
They do-
not
they
Red
do have a nice
13 and
date.
Aerith?
Do you have an opinion
Jesus
on this,
Christ,
Manta?
Mark, what is wrong with you?
Do you have an opinion on this,
Red
Manta?
13 Aaron.
So we can leave this topic forever.
Yeah, obviously, Cloud and Tifa. You gotta.
Yes,
You
thank
can't
you.
have your bro moving in on your ex. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Like, that's a bit uncomfortable, isn't it?
it is.
Like,
Well, I mean, tell that to Waka and Lulu, who were in the exact same situation, and they made it
yeah,
work.
and
so
no
I'm
one
just
agrees with that
Yeah,
relationship.
but-
Just like no one agrees with Cloud
That's
and
kind
Aerith.
of-
saying. I'm just saying.
That's
happens.
kind of like an ancient biblical love, like your brother's wife is widowed, so you have to marry her so that she can have children and you can honor your brother. That's like
But again,
old,
that's like when there was like
old-timey
4
stuff.
people in the village.
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. Sin destroyed the whole world, so
Jesus Christ.
it is what it is. All right, can we
Why
move
is this
on?
the podcast? Why is
Yes,
this the episode?
this is your official
Valentine's
Dissidia.
Day.
This
Happy
is
Valentine's.
your Happy Valentine's Day. But let's get to Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where another love of my heart, Garnet, had her lost chapter. So, anybody want to bring us through? We didn't just get Garnet awakening, we got Garnet and Zell awakening. So, anybody want to bring us through Garnet and Zell awakenings? Or I have
Monta,
to.
do you have any opinion on?
I don't really. I didn't really care too much. I like Zell as a character from like Final Fantasy VIII, but like he's just like he's about the best defense debuffer here, and like nothing else. So I mean,
he is currently with his fully awakened. I don't even know if my screen is showing up at this point, but I do have Zell.
no, you are, yeah, you're
fully awakened here, and I do have him max limit broke at the moment. He does have this nice defense debuff, but the problem with Zell is he got some really good damage boosts, and now once you use one of his brave powers, he immediately goes into the other one. So if you use Punch Rush, it immediately goes to Booyah. If you use Booyah, it immediately goes to Punch Rush. Punch Rush.
Punch Rush.
Yes, Punch
Yeah.
Rush. But then
Then
you
it
still
swaps.
have to dump all the brave, and then the next turn you get to do one of his like 2 special attacks. So he does. He just eats up a lot of turns. I
Yeah,
actually
he's just too
used
slow.
him.
He's not efficient enough. Like,
Yeah,
nowadays you need.
he's not. It's one of those characters. He's not slow. He's super fast, but he takes 3 turns to basically do one move that
Yeah.
Squall could do in one move.
Yeah.
And I think you were saying, Mark, is that he's so fast you were running out of skills with him, using him, compared to say everybody else in the party.
Yeah, so I brought him for this LC's level 100 battle, and he actually ran out of skills with who else was in this? Cloud, or who else? Who was in this? Garnet.
Cloud and Garnet.
Yeah, Cloud and
Cloud and
Garnet.
Garnet.
So he actually ran out of skills because he's so fast. He keeps bumping up in front of the other characters, which is great because you need him to be fast to use his moves. But it's not great because that's like eating up turns. So he probably had 30 turns himself. I mean, he has how many
That's-
skill
yeah.
uses?
18 there, I think I saw.
Yeah, 18.
So I mean, so that's 18 turns to primarily devote to him, and considering that he only jumps brave basically every third turn, that's six. That's basically six HP attacks.
yeah,
That's 6 turns worth of HP attacks. That's just using your squall for the entire fight, basically. It's just not worth it.
It's not great. That's for sure. I wonder how many people actually put their crystals in the Zell, but
yeah. I was over 900 red crystals, so and I had all his weapons, so I wasn't afraid to pump him
Yeah.
up. Plus, of course, I love Final Fantasy VIII, so I was going to probably have all the characters from 8 anyway. Yeah,
Zell's
so-
my favorite FFA character, but he's just not been doing well in this game at all, or
Yeah,
for the
you know,
foreseeable future.
he's kind of fun to play, but you know, it is frustrating compared to other situations. So
Well, he got his X in JP there, I think, recently, didn't he? So and he's meant to be quite good, isn't he? Though?
The max 1087 says it's 12 HP attacks, not 6, as a correction to I think Monta said 6 earlier.
okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
right.
And he gets his EX relatively soon, I believe. He got it the same time Lightning did in JP, which is a few months out from us. And I hear that makes him viable because then his dual buff never drops. It doesn't consume too much, so you can freely combo his stuff better. But I mean, it's still just and his rework in JP, his 70 rework is that everything's a brave plus HP attack,
Yeah,
which is not.
Yeah, it's kind of what
But-
you need now.
but you
yeah,
never
but
you
I
never
think-
hear him. I mean, you never really hear of him being used in Japan either. So I think it might be, too little, too late. So yeah, his EX weapon is called. It's that one glove from the game. Energize. I just always called it Energize, but that's not how it's spelled. And that
Is it that one? It's called
Ergies, I think it is.
apparently it's
Ergies.
pronounced air gates or something.
Air
It's
gates?
German. I remember because there was that FF fighting game on PlayStation 1 that I was playing. If anyone remembers that old ass game, probably nobody.
Yeah.
Made up.
So if
Larp.
you wanna hear what it does, it casts different beat, a 9-hit Brave plus HP attack. Brave stolen from the target can overflow to 150%. Grants duel for 6 turns. Turns Brave attack into burning combo and HP attack into meteor combo. And so it gives his regular abilities, his Brave ability and his HP ability, actual special abilities, actual abilities. Burning combo is a 4-hit melee attack, debuffs and buffs, and has overflow. And meteor combo is a 1-hit Brave attack, debuffs.
I don't know. It sounds very
Yeah.
meh.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Yeah.
that Mino said that it makes him usable, but are you willing to sink 200 tickets or like 100k gems into
Yeah.
a character that's going to be usable?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
okay, well, I mean, this is a great segue. I also feel like we shouldn't spend too much time on these X pluses because we're very global focused.
Yes.
We shouldn't be talking about things a year off. But I think there's a good segue into Garnet, who I feel is exactly at the power level that Zell will kind of be like, and Lightning when they get their EXs, which is usable,
Yeah.
but not gonna last. So let's cover Garnet really quick. Let's cover
Yes.
her awakening.
She's
I
up
feel
on the
like
screen.
they gave her they completely reworked her role because when she first came out, her specialty was AOE water and lightning damage, and that was it, right? That was all her kit did,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And imperils and make herself hit harder, but at that point, I think you only had Ferris doing water damage and a couple people doing lightning.
Yeah, well, Vincent did lighting. I mean, but he
Yes.
impaired himself, didn't he? So I mean,
Yeah. I'll try to fix it. So what her awakening, the first thing it does is make her attacks AOE.
Right.
So her Water and Lightning Imperil are AoE now, which is
nice.
much better utility. And it changes her. She changes focus to being a battery now because each of her attacks give her a different type of battery, right? The Leviathan attack changes the HP to Dragon's Wave, which heals everyone's Braves by 50% of the HP done the user, and then the Ramu move turns their HP attack into Judgment Hammer, which heals everyone's Brave by 70% of attack. So she's just battering nonstop now. And then, so here's the thing. This is what let everyone in chat weigh in. But from what we've been discussing on Reddit and Discord, it looks like that without her EX, she's nothing to write home about. I mean, would you guys agree or disagree with that?
I mean,
Well,
obviously, it
I don't.
depends in the Go ahead, Manta.
Well, I was gonna say I don't have any of the weapons for her. I avoided her like the plague.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I didn't even pull her when Squall was on the banner because apparently he was still like he didn't get a. Remember he was due a rework and it didn't arrive. So I was like whatever. But from what I've heard, like when she was awoken before the banner came up, people were using her and they're like, "This is very underwhelming. Like she doesn't really do too much."
Yeah.
So,
One Wing Devil says, "Why would you use a character without their EX?" Well, you've got like Kate Sith and Selfie,
Yep.
and a bunch
trash
of
tier
other
characters.
people,
Come on.
a bunch of other characters coming up who are like super meta, or say Squall completely doesn't need his EX, Terra either. A lot of these top tier characters really don't need their EX at all. Let's be honest. I've used Terra and Squall just fine to clear. I still use them to clear content and get scores without the EX in sight. But Mark, you actually. Oh, let's go over the EX, and then Mark, you have some practical experience with it, so you can walk us through what you think.
Go ahead.
But so what the EX does is, again, it's a huge battery, so I think they're focusing her focus more towards batteries and imperils, and it's a huge heals everyone's Brave by 50% of her max Brave, which is kind of iffy. I mean, every Garnet player should know that her max Brave is kind of really, really shitty, especially considering the era we're in. Everyone's hitting around 20k.
Yep, just to stop you there for a second, she does get a buff
80% boost with her awakening path.
With her awakening, so that does help considerably.
Yeah, but she's still not a top tier max Brave character.
Not at all.
Yeah. And then she also heals everyone by 50% HP, so it's a battery and a heal, similar to Y'shtola's kit. And she grants Sacred Prayer for 10 turns. Sacred Prayer is Brave regen, 80% of each character's into Brave every turn. So I actually had fun trying to stack that on Cloud, and he's regenning 180% in Brave every turn. It was really fun. Same with Terra. It really boosts their regen up since it's a framed buff. And enchant Water and Thunder in one unique buff for 10 turns. And it's 10 turns because it's a slow recast. I think it's about 4 ability uses.
It is without its boost, it is a slow minus. So it's the same as Dark Knight Cecil, I believe.
Yeah, about 4 to 5.
So it's 4 to 5 turns. I mean, it does go over multiple times, but
right. Yeah. So I mean, the big thing, this makes her usable because now everyone with non-elemental attacks are hitting for weakness. So everyone with non-elemental attacks are hitting for a 50% more damage, hitting 150% as long as she's spamming it, and she's throwing batteries out the whole time. So like the damage can add up. And if for all the long-time players, there's a Japanese player by the name of G Phoenix. He even did a Garnet eval way back in the day when she launched in GL, and he, as a huge Garnet fan, said he was able to use her and a team built around her to clear scores for about a month or two. So she's very usable, but even he admits that without the EX, she's just got like worse than most 60 characters. But Mark, you have all the practical experience. I pulled the EX. That's a story for later. But I was too lazy to level up Garnet. and do the
Uh,
lost chapter yet. So please walk us through your
yes, if
experience.
you're watching, you should see I have my Garnet 6060 with her full gear kit. I had her max limit broke before this event, and I was able to pull her EX without too much pain. And
How much you invest?
I don't know. I'm like at 83,000, so not a lot. Maybe 50 tickets, 2 3 pulls.
Damn, lucky
So
man.
yeah, no, I mean it wasn't too bad. I wasn't gonna throw a lot in it. But yeah, I do. I mean, I love Final Fantasy IX. I like Garnet quite a bit, and I did like her kit, especially. Now, it would be a whole different story if we didn't get a global exclusive character who has a main HP attack that is lightning and a EX, which is not an elemental. And so,
That's very true. I completely forgot that, Mark.
yeah.
Um,
So
Garnet's value actually is increased in global because of Beatrix. But
without
imagine a game without Beatrix, right?
Without
Sorry.
Beatrix, Garnet has a little less use. With Beatrix, Garnet has a lot more use because she is enhancing. No, so she's imperiling lightning on the enemy. She's enhancing, empowering lightning on Beatrix. So that stacks with her lightning already, and then makes Clim Hazard lightning if you have the weakness. Um, and she's doing lightning damage herself and battering and doing some other things that can help with that as well. So yeah, so I mean I think I've been using her to clear content. Selfie, Garnet, Beatrix. That's going to be the team I'm running for a while. Kreese shared in Twitch. And of course, Kreese does a lot of our evaluations, and we use a lot of his evaluations. Let me put it that way. And you can look at his stuff as Zurink on Reddit. He says, without her EX, Garnet fills a similar niche to Vincent. She enables other characters with EX. She enables everyone. So she has this unique thing where she empowers lightning and water and imperils lightning and water. So right now she's great with characters like Beatrix. She's going to be great with characters like Rydia. Again, is she top DPS? No. Is she top support? No. Does she work well in a good team composition? Yes. And I think that's why she's worth having around, very truthfully, because it creates some interesting team comps in a game where we've not always had a lot of team comp options. So I was planning to use Vincent for the Lightning Imperil with Beatrix moving forward, but now that I have her, there's more options. And yes, Phantom Havoc 14 says Ferris, Beatrix, Garnet. So yeah, you got to remember Ferris is there too with her water and her debuff and her dispel. So that's just another, there's just more team building options with characters like this. Is she a meta character? No. Is she going to break the game? No. Should you chase her EX? Probably not, unless she's one of your favorite characters. But, she's going to give you some different options than you had before. Unless you just want to do Kate, Selfie, Beatrix till you're blue in the face, then, go to
Well,
town.
that's gonna be the new meta for next month.
Yeah, go to town.
I would say
Let me weigh in really quick, Monda, and then
Yeah,
I know
go
we've
for it.
been shutting you out, and you can go in. But to play devil's advocate to Mark's praise about the because Kreese is saying that she fills a similar role to Vincent. I feel like that's sort of false because, well, one, Vincent is hitting the more common element of fire instead of water, right? Like we've been over that the only water characters are Ferris and Rydia right now, and the other thing is Vincent comes with those sick debuffs that I bring Vincent more for the debuffs than the Imperils, to be honest.
No, sure.
The 70% attack down or more or so, or the huge int brave down. So I feel like Garnet doesn't quite reach Vincent's level because he is doing he's doing more focused HP attacks because it's a single HP attack and the debuffs are there. And the other thing is that I saw a comment up here that I've lost at this point, but basically to play devil's advocate of, I know like some people would want to break from the meta of say like Kate Sith and Selfie, but I believe that compared to Kate Sith has a huge attack and max brave buff, which is beneficial, and attack is better overall because a lot of skills scale off of attack, whereas Garnet's imperils and enchants will only work for people with non-elemental attacks, and that's non-elemental brave attacks too, ignoring all the straight HP multipliers like Terra's Meltdown. So I feel like Kate Sith enables far more people than Garnet can. Garnet, you have to specifically look for people, and she even cuts a lot of people out, like Squall, who has double um, non-elemental attacks, would get canceled out by her battery, which would really suck. Um, well, I mean, Kate
Well, the
Sith's the
same. The
same.
same is true
Yeah,
for Kate
yeah,
Sith.
yeah,
Kate
yeah.
Kate
But I
Sith
mean,
and
you know
Squall
what I'm
don't
saying.
synergize. No,
You know what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
not
attack
saying
is more versatile.
I'm not saying
And
one
then
is better. I'm
also
not saying one is better than the other. I
yeah.
think there are situations, just like with Vincent, there are going to be situations where you're fighting someone who's immune to debuffs. And that would
That's true.
that takes out Imperil too. But but not if immune to debuffs, weak to water, right, or lightning. So I mean, it's
And then
situational. It's another
yeah.
tool in the toolbox.
Right. Which I agree. It's just a limited tool, which I think is why she's okay. Because the other thing is that Kate Sith has the huge max brave and the overflow, whereas everyone in Discord chat right now is saying as well that Garnet's max brave is actually on the low side, so her personal damage is gonna be much worse. She has to elevate other people higher to make up for her own
Right.
shortcomings.
But she does synergize with Kate and Beatrix as well. So I mean, you use Selfie for a more defensive team. You can use Kate, Beatrix, Garnet for a more offensive team. And someone also brought up Realm, and Realm is again another option with, the elemental damage as well. So
right, that's good.
So, but yeah, it's just another.
Monta, we've been leaving
tool.
you out.
I'll let
you want to weigh in on this?
I think you guys covered most. But the only thing I was going to say was God of Cloud9 mentioned there that Garner works really, really well in long fights. But the only problem is that we don't have long fights anymore. In fact, the goal is to have the opposite of that, have as short a fight as possible. So until we start seeing something that encourages long fights, she's not going to be like. I would say Garner would be actually really, really good if fights were really long. If fights were 50 plus turns, then yeah, she'd be really good. But fights aren't 50 plus turns. If you want to get those scores and do everything you need to do, you need to be 36 turns, and there's too much of a difference in those 14 turns. So she's not gonna. She won't be meta. I think even with Beatrix, I don't think she'll be. But that's obviously my personal opinion and far from gospel.
Right. Well, she's going to be able to clear at right now difficult content and get you a high score because I mean that's literally what I've done today. So so in that respect, meta. In the long term, 3, 4, 5 months from now, probably none of these characters are going to be meta. So that's how the game works.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
And One Wing Devil says, to be honest, I think Enchanted Imperil does more than an attack buff. I mean, if it's pure damage, yes. If it's all non-elemental attacks, yes. But attack, there's a lot of batteries and stuff that scale off of attack. And what about all the people who are locked to elements like Zell and Vincent, etc.? Like attack does cover a wider spectrum, I believe. But Mark, do you want to talk about the LC fight? How was it?
Yeah, so the level 100, quest level 100, Princess of Alexandria Part 11 fight is a little different than other LCs. Have you guys both done this fight?
I have not yet. Monta, how did you find it?
I thought it was easy enough. I completed score requirements and all, doing my Garnet carry the first.
Yeah. So who did you bring, Manta?
It was Beatrix, my own bad Garnet, and a Cloud.
Yeah.
And I brought a Garnet friend. In fact, for those of you wondering, there'll be a video of it up at about 3:30. So you can, after the podcast is done. Very clever.
If you can see my screen, the high score requirement, I believe, was 140,000. The high score that I got was 141,000, and I got that with the synergy characters. So I think maybe for the first time.
How many did you use? All of Cloud's.
I used. Wait, say that again.
Did you use all of Cloud's finishing touches?
Maybe I used 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I used Garnet, Cloud, and Zell for the synergy finish, which was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it took way too many turns I think it took maybe 50 turns, but I did get the score requirement, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, if you brought a meta team, it would have been a lot worse. If I brought Selfie, Garnet, and Beatrix, it could have probably been well over 2,000. So, um,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but
Like if
this seemed a
you
little
bring
different
Meditate to it,
because
it'd be
we
no good.
had you had three different bosses in this battle. The first one's the Sand Kraken. Then you had a wave of mobs, bombs, and a flan. Then you had the ghost with the one ghost that becomes like you can't hit it. The perfect dodge. You have to kill the two others and then kill it. So that was like the second wave because that was like a boss battle we had before. And then you had a scorpion wave, and then you had a flan medley, and the flan medley's the one that shoots off the other flans. And the only problem with that is you have to break them, and as soon as you break them, they disappear. So you don't have to actually kill the other flans; you just have to break them, and they disappear, which is kind of nice. So I thought this was a little interesting of a battle because you had those three different bosses as opposed to like waves of mobs, a boss, a wave of mobs, and the final boss. So it was a little interesting, but I was able to beat it with the synergy team. So not the most difficult battle. Just remember the Kraken is kind of annoying, but he's weak to like 13 things: wind, lightning, and water. Um,
How
the
bad is it
Go
when
ahead.
you're beating? How bad is it when you beat the lost chapter with the synergy team, and because of that, you say, "Ah, it was easy. It was easy. I beat it with the best team."
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
beat
boosted
it.
team.
I beat it with the team they wanted me to beat. How silly is that?
But it's that's crazy that we have like that the teams are just so like those characters are just so bad. Like you had like just there's so many people you can replace them with. Like well, Zell immediately comes to mind. Replace him with any pretty much any other awakened debuffer, and they do a better job as far as
Now
I can tell. Which is horrible.
the nice thing with
Like
Zell is he does do lightning. His Booyah is a lightning attack, so that does
oh,
synergize with Garnet. And Cloud
but then
does
you only get defense down one then,
right.
don't you? You need like I
Yes,
think
no,
punch rush does like the high
yeah,
defense.
the punch rush does the better of the two. Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything if you do that. But then you use Cloud to use Finishing Touch and dump all of Zell's Brave. So they do kind of synergize. Obviously, not as good as most of our teams synergize when we're going all in. But
Mm.
yeah, just remember with the ghosts that you have to kill the two side ghosts, but they don't have a lot of HP, so it shouldn't be too hard to kill them and then kill the middle one before they respawn. And again, as long as you break the blob, the flan medley with AoE, the other two aren't going to be an issue. Yeah, Kreese says
Yeah, like
Booyah does better defense down. It's tied to his 35 CP.
oh, well, there you go. Well, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I would say yeah, like as long as you bring some kind of AOE character, like the fight's made a lot more easy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Particularly with the flat medley stuff, you just need to break them when you're fine.
Yeah.
You can bring that sweet Titus X that you have, Mino. You know.
Nice.
I feel better. There was a Reddit
Titus.
post today. Did you see that Reddit post? I think it was like 150K for Beatrix EX no luck. And that made me
Ouch.
feel better. Schadenfreude, you know.
I want to say, I don't know who off the top of my head, but I want to say someone on our Discord, and we do have a Discord, and if you want to join our Discord, I will try to link that as I'm talking to you. I believe
was a
someone
very
on our
smooth move.
Discord just got Beatrix's EX after 190,000
Holy crap.
gems.
I think that was Red Cane or oh no, save me please. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
save me,
Okay,
please.
so save me please if you're listening. Congratulations.
What a fitting username.
But
Yeah.
190,000, that's a lot of pulls. Glad you got it, though. Hopefully Beatrix will be with us for a while. So we already talked a little bit about the banner, which is Cloud, Zell, and Garnet with her EX. Not the greatest banner. Probably at this point, most people have Cloud's gear.
Yeah, just skip it.
Yeah.
If you have Cloud, skip it.
Yeah. I mean, again, I pulled on it. I wanted her EX. I'm happy with her EX. I'm going to use it. It's going to be great. But if you're saving your gems for better things, save them for better things. So that brings us to Reminiscence Conflict. And that brought us a banner as well, so we can talk about the banner first if you want to.
Sure. What was the okay, I got this. It was Ace, Laguna, and Shantoto, correct?
That is
That's
correct.
the one.
So once again, I didn't get Shantoto 35. That's probably going to be my first.
So
Actually,
Laguna and 2 wastes of space, basically.
we talk about that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that coming up next when we're talking about rankings. But Laguna has not impressed me as like I thought he would, to be honest.
He's not meta defining, but out of those 3, he's the best by, I would say, a long stretch.
Yes.
Maybe I might want Ace for the either the gimmick of doing big magic damage burst, or he's a fantastic auto battler since he has so many attack passives.
Sure, that's what Setzer's for. You know, and he's coming. He's getting even better soon. So.
Yeah.
And sure, Aminosa agrees with me. Oh no, sorry, disagrees with me. Ace is 5 times better than Laguna.
Thank you, Aminosa. I have zero scientific backing for that statement, but I 100% agree with you. I don't have Ace's 35. I have
Spoken
MLB
like an American
Laguna.
politician.
So what did you guys get off your free poll? Because this was one of our free poll banners. I think I got
2
Ace's
Laguna
35.
35s, and I was very disappointed because I wanted Shantoto 35.
Yeah. Why?
I got Laguna's 15 and then 2 of Ace's 15. So trash,
Nice.
basically useless trash.
I got Ace's 35, which is good because I have Laguna and Shantoto max limit broke, and I didn't have any of Ace's weapons. So
Well, nice.
I'm
but
so
yeah,
jealous that you have Shantoto max limit break.
why are you jealous about that?
I love Shantoto. She's a favorite for sure.
Yeah, I've had.
If it makes you feel better,
my
my first multi-pull on Garnet was Titus 15. If it makes you feel better.
Well, you can gaze upon my where is she? She's way at the bottom here, isn't she? Yeah, you can gaze upon my crystal strength 51 Shantoto with all of her gear. Yeah, so I've not even awakened her fully.
Rex, though.
The Max 1087 says he got Una 15 CP.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, that's gonna be the
ouch.
worst weapon in the game. No, not the worst. There's
if you're just starting the game, Una's 15 CP is a great weapon to clear early content.
Zaz 15 is probably the worst.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well,
15 maybe.
To be fair, well, Rem's 15 is garbage.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rem's 15 is garbage. Ace's weapons aren't super great for him. Like, they don't do tons. They just make his abilities more powerful. They don't do anything else. But that brings us to Reminiscence Conflict. And Conflict, of course, has quest level 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 90. And if you complete all of them and you've completed the other 2 Reminiscences, you should have 15 anniversary weapon tokens, right?
Yes.
15. So a 35 CP costs 10 tokens, and a 15 CP costs 4 tokens, and a Power Stone costs 4 tokens. Have either of you spent any of your tokens yet?
I have spent 10.
Me too. What did you get, Monte?
I got Lail's 35 because I'd never got it before. I was like, what's the worst? Like, if somehow we become super meta again, there you go, it's ready.
That is a much smarter thing than what I did because I don't have Lail's 35 either. But I'm trying to give myself an excuse to pull on Kane LC because I have an MLB Kane. Kane's my favorite character. I want an excuse to shoot for his EX, and I don't have a Shantoto or Lail 35, so I'm not gunning hard for it. But I tried Shadow 35 because I hyped myself up for Shadow.
I told you not to get that.
I still have yet to even try Shadow. I have him fully awakened and MLB'd, and I just haven't found an excuse to pull him out yet because all of these fights so far, the Garnet LC and the Reminiscence, are all like elemental resistance stuff. So the defense penetration hasn't been needed yet. So whatever.
He's not worth it. He's not worth it. Like he does some very good single target damage, but the other person who does that is Jecht, who has a fire damage which pairs really well with Vincent, like one of the best debuffers in the game.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do with your last 10 actually?
Uh, throw them down the drain, probably. I don't know. What else is there to get, really?
I,
I don't know. I'm missing so many good ones, like you said, like Lael or Shantoto or
Of, I might go for Chantal. It's not good. What are you talking about? I might go for Edge. Edge, because I
oh, that's
like.
a good
I,
one.
I was
That's a good
thinking
one.
about Edge too, because I haven't
That's-
spent any of mine. And I,
Ah,
of the 35s, just going down the list, Kreese reminded us that the anniversary tokens have weapons for all story characters except Kate Sith. So all story characters from the first year of the game, no event characters. So
Hmm.
so the 35s that I'm missing are Tifa, Y'shtola,
Boo.
Yida, Yuffie. I'm not
Still
jumping on any
boo.
of those. Edge. I might get Edge.
Oh.
Yang, Furion, Steiner, Shadow, Galoff. That's it.
Golf could be good.
So yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
probably between Galoff, Steiner, Shadow, Furion,
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't go
Edge.
Fury, and he's kind of reaching the edge of his.
Yeah.
Well, he's already well past the edge of his
So
like
maybe
relevance.
maybe Edge and Steiner, because I don't know why. Probably have all the Final Fantasy IX characters anyway. But
Don't go for Steiner. You crazy?
do you
so
have
you
a,
already have everyone important. I'm at least missing important people
I
like
have
Lael
everybody.
and
Yeah.
who else is a
Important.
I can't remember.
Warrior of Light.
I have Warrior of Light. I have Lael. Yep. So let's talk
That's
about
even weird.
the Reminiscence conflict.
Oh Jesus!
Did you
Who wants
guys
to go first?
actually do this battle?
I have the don't even I have the worst. I'll go first. I have the worst take on it. I didn't hear anything about it as soon as it hit. You know, I'm usually not on Discord or Reddit for that night. I just logged on, used my default team of Kate, Selfie, and Beatrix with a Squall support. Did it in one go, and I was like, "Oh, this is another easy one. I know it's gonna talk about this later." Because Mark was talking about how easy the second one was, Advent, whatever the second week was. And then so I was like, "Oh, this is easy." Then next day I check Discord.
Escalation.
Apparently, yeah, everyone's talking about how difficult this is, and I was like, I must have just had a super privileged team, um, because I don't know. I did it in one try with a super meta team. I have no idea what the difficulty was. I didn't even know the mechanics. Like I killed Marlboro before Bad Breath came out. I killed everyone before they did anything. Basically, 36 turns, 34 turns ish. So I did not experience this fight to its fullest. Apparently. How about you, Monta?
Who did you bring?
Um, Kate, Selfie, Beatrix with
Okay.
a Squall support.
Yeah.
I brought. I completed with the exact same team because I tried a few different teams, mainly trying to focus on bringing Squall, but they just you can't deal enough damage. It's crazy. Like because the main one is the ultimate weapon. It like gives itself a massive defense boost, or I think it's actually resistance, and you just can't get you just can't get through the thing. So the solution is to just bring batteries. So that's why you're Kate, Selfie, Beatrix. Like the ultimate synergy of good batteries and decent damage, and you can get through it. I think I had tried it with. Okay, let me try quickly. Remember, Squall, Selfie, Beatrix. Then it was Terra, Selfie, Beatrix. Then Edgar, Selfie, Beatrix, and none of them could do it. I got really close though with Terra and Edgar. I think they're trying to encourage you to use debuffs. That's maybe why Lagoon is on there. But every single friend support I had was a Squall, and for some reason none of them had like any passives equipped. They had like the X weapon,
Nice.
with no other passives equipped. And I'm like, why is this happening to me? With I'd say with a Terra, Selfie, and Beatrix, you could probably do it with the Dark Knight Cecil friend, I think.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah,
Dark Knight Cecil's been bailing me out a lot.
Yeah, that's. I think that's who I brought the first time. I brought Beatrix, Selfie, and Kate. Then I brought Dark Knight Cecil, friend. But I beat it. I beat the game, or I beat this one with Beatrix, Garnet, and Selfie. So there you go.
There you go. Garnet's useful. There you are.
Yeah.
Go Garnet.
100
Yeah.
enough.
So yeah, the first round is Melboro and a dragon of some sort, blue dragon. Then
Blue
you
dragon.
fight Garland. Then you fight Ultima Weapon, who's a pain in the butt, and then you fight Atlas. So yeah, it is a very high defense. Um, I mean, not terrible. We were all able to beat it, obviously, with the meta characters. Some people were saying, no, I can't beat it without Kate. That's why it was actually Quetz who took in the A team of Beatrix, Garnet, and Selfie. And so that's how I was able to do it as well without Kate Sith. Obviously, I think it's a little easier with Kate Sith, as a lot of things are going to be.
Way easier.
Yeah, but not terrible. It was not hard at all with those two. And I brought friend Beatrix in my team, and then as soon as I got to the last wave, I popped Sacred Prayer. Well, I brought in friend Beatrix, popped
Friend
Sacred Prayer, and then did a Beatrix Lightning Party, which was a lot of fun. So you may have brought Kate Sith, but I had a Beatrix Lightning Party.
No, that's a good team for this, obviously. To answer your question, I suppose, Milo, the main gimmicks of it are you either bring a selfie or kill the Malbro before it does bad breath.
Pretty much.
Garland just has a lot of HP, so you just tank him. The main concern is actually Ultimate with the high defense, the resistance, and also it has the potential to battery itself up enough to kill one of your party members.
Yeah, it can
if it picks the wrong one. So if you have a Terra, dead. Dead.
Yeah,
God.
a low HP character can just one shot. Yep.
It's
That's
crazy.
a pain in the butt. Yeah.
And then Atlas, you kill. Like Atlas doesn't do. I think for me, Ultimate Weapon got 4 or 5 turns off, but Atlas got a turn off, and all you did was clap the air and hurt her ears.
They were talking about some smash attack that Atlas has that's supposed to be a pain. I don't know if any of you guys saw it.
He did this. He did that smash attack. I don't remember it doing much. But everybody had like 20,000 brave on my team, so I don't know if that was real helpful. I was trying not to get broken. Normally, I don't worry about that, but just for score stuff, I've been trying not to get broken to see how that works. But
I definitely always try not to get broken on.
I usually don't pay attention
stuff.
to it at all.
Yeah. Really? Wow.
Yeah, I don't care.
What a jerk.
Look, I don't care. Get broken. See if I can. It's all about turns, baby. Daddy needs a new set of turns. So, moving on from that. Hey, if you're listening, if you're on Twitch tonight, if you're listening, anybody wants to do and record a Ace Shantoto Laguna run, that would be super. I only have Ace's 35, 0 max limit broke. If I had his gear, I would go at it as well, but I don't have him awoken either, and I don't have Shantoto awoken either. So anybody's got that team, go to town. I want to see what that team takes care of on those guys, because that seems like it would be terrible.
I don't think you're gonna be able to get that. No way.
Seems like a terrible, terrible team to have to bring to that. So a couple of things as we just kind of move into some discussion this week. The first topic was, we're at the anniversary. It's a global anniversary. I found an old tier list from the first anniversary of Japan. And I wish I could bring it up on the video. I did not set that up to be able to do that effectively. Yeah.
If you want, we can fill air while you do
it.
No.
No. We can just talk about it. It's fine. So looking at this, this is the first anniversary of Japan. I just want to, I guess the only reason I really want to share this is just to say, how, we talk about catching up to Japan. We are in a much different place than Japan was at the first anniversary. So here's top tier for Japan at the first anniversary of the game. Squall, Vaughn, Laguna, Cloud, Terra, Yuna, Sarah.
Yuna? No. What?
Yeah, these are the top tier SS.
Oh God, yeah.
Second,
right now,
Cloud, though.
Yep. Second tier. I'll just do.
You want to hit up each of these tiers one by one, actually?
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
I would say just try and bring it up there in the thing.
Yeah, if
we're
you could
messing around.
bring it up on stream, that would really help. I don't know if you can find a way.
I'm not sure I can do that.
In OBS, if you just add like an image
Yeah.
version,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
whatever you want. But yeah, while that's happening, I suppose we so. Do you want to go through the second tier there, Mino?
Yeah. Hang on. People are asking for the link in chat, so let me do that really quick.
All right,
But basically, of the top tier, Squall, Vaughn, Laguna, Cloud, Terra, Yuna, Sarah. Who do you think in global right now deserves to be up there?
Squall, Terra, maybe Van. On a good day.
Really interesting.
We'll see how he comes out with his X.
I'd throw Squall's up there for sure. Cloud.
Cloud.
Can you
Oh
see
no,
that?
I agree with Squall and Terra, but Cloud, I've still used Cloud to this day because that region's just, and the 2-turn X is just still really really strong in my opinion.
I could, yeah, certainly, but I think you're kind of remembering though, like the last, like he's been synergy for like 2 events in the last like 3 weeks, I think.
A lot of people in chat are saying only Squall deserves to be up there.
Yeah,
which is fair. Which is fair. That's fair. Cloud and Terra maybe even a tier down. Mark, you're on the stream. You're missing a column of the white crystal.
I see that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I can do about that, but I do see that.
Okay.
You should be able to, if you select the image in your thing, you should be able to like bring it down.
Yeah.
And then if you've got studio mode open, you can transition across.
So Laguna's been largely disappointing for me, to be honest.
Because you hyped them up for yourself. You were going out like,
same,
Laguna's gonna be the newest.
Sarah too. Sarah has been disappointing for me as well.
That's true, yeah.
And I don't think Yuna should be anywhere near the top. But that's my take. What do you think about that?
Well, we have to put this back in place in like where. So this is something we were talking about beforehand. Is it doesn't actually have, as you can probably see, it doesn't have Selfie or Sith or obviously Beatrix in there. So although this is their 1-year anniversary, they were a little bit behind on events and awakenings.
Yeah.
I think this was when just after Cloud's X had come out, which is probably why he's SS tier, and Chantal's X had come out, which is why she's somehow up in the high ranks of A for herself. But,
well, A is, if you look closely, A is the bottom tier for the awakenings. We should only be covering SS, S, and A, because A is the worst of the awakenings, which that might all line up. We'll see. But like Kreese said,
Cater. Oh wait, was she out yet?
Yeah, Cater's the only person who is even so bad that she's with the rest of the 50s.
Yep.
but I mean, like you and Kreese said, yeah, I was talking to Mark about that. I was saying, is this a fair comparison? Because at this point, they still haven't had Selfie and Kate Sith come out. But he's like, no, that's the point. We're talking about where the game was exactly a year in. So they
didn't have Kate Sith or Selfie.
Right. So it would be like the equivalent analogy would be like, instead of looking at where JP is right now, in exactly a year from now, we might be completely different from their current tier list as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what Mark brought up was the most significant difference. If you look at the very, very bottom there in the red crystals, you'll see a special God Emperor there.
Hey, well, let's be honest. Saz right now is pretty much at that spot because
F tier.
No. I believe it. One, because all the awakening characters can already do what he can do, basically, but better, and his speed causes him to hog turns with his really crappy HP plus, and I think to top it all off, so my real life friend who plays this game, Hitmon Chan, I'm sure a lot of people have seen in game because they always message me, and I saw Reddit posts about it because his profile says Mino Spellgood sucks, and everyone's like, everyone's always showing me like this guy's throwing shade at you, but he is a huge Saz fan for some reason, even before the early 35, and he always had Saz as his friend character without a fail for the entirety of the game. And he says that nowadays he plays this game a lot because he grinds artifacts like crazy, and he says with Saz as his assist, he doesn't even hit the full 50 uses
Yeah.
for the friend reward for all the for all the gold, right? Um, I think last week I said, "Can you switch to your Vaughn because I need it?" He switched to the Vaughn. He got like 178 uses, and then he switches back to Saz the next day, and he gets 25 uses. The same amount of activity. So I'm saying I think Saz is really that bad now that you can't even get full uses out of him.
But no, I wouldn't say he's. You have to remember, I know this is a weird scaling system that they have here, but like a character being useless is like C tier. Like look at the C tier there. That's basically what characters were useless at the time, and I agree with that. But F tier is almost like, you know, if you brought this character, you'd actively be going against your your team. Your team basically F tier is like your team would be better off without this. If you just went two people, you'd be better off without this character. That's F tier.
I
I
believe it
wouldn't say
because
that.
so many characters now have personal attack buffs of or max brave buffs of like at least 40. Would you agree? All the awakening characters have give themselves at least 40 in attack or max brave.
I suppose, yeah, thereabouts, I'd say.
So Saz would come in. The best he could do is give somebody a 20% boost on top of whatever the hell they're doing, and he would steal a million turns with his HP plus, right? Like he would literally just be throwing away turns the entire time, killing your
But you're
score.
forgetting that we're in the support and battery meta, which means that every time he's done, someone's gonna battery that immediately back up.
No,
It's
battery
Kate or
his max. I guarantee you, his max brave is like 4K or 5K or something.
yeah, but combine that with a Kate Sith, and you're up to what, like 10. Like it's not that bad. Like I think you're under to put him down that far, like worse than, worse than Poro. No, worse than Cyan right now.
Okay,
Are you crazy?
well. To be fair, this list, the reason he's F is because he still hasn't got his 35 yet. Actually,
Yeah.
once he got his 35, he goes to E tier. So then he's on the same tier as say like Orin and Palom, etc.
I don't know. I'd say Zaz with his 35 is better than Zell unawakened.
Huh? Maybe. Yeah, but Zell has that sick ass 60% defense down. Anyway, Mark, you've been a little quiet. Did you want to?
Yeah, no, I'm screwing up my OBS. So, yeah, no,
Yay.
I just thought it was fun to, you know, kind of look and see
Tomahawk Joe.
how far we've gone. So.
Tomahawk Joe says Mido actually has no idea what he's talking about. Sorry, Mark.
I want to see it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I want to see. I want to see Saz in action on the current content. Then, if somebody wants to prove me wrong,
there we go. Let's do it. But it is.
That's
it is funny to think that, you know, a year into the game, Zaz didn't have his 35 in Japan, and we got it how much earlier? You know, at this point, we have 6 waves of awakenings. They had 3 waves. We have Selfie and Kate Sith, and we have a, you know, special. So we're in a way different place. Thank you, Grace, than Japan was at their first anniversary. We will probably be in a very different place than Japan was at our second anniversary of the game. So that does bring us to our community discussion, which comes from a couple weeks ago, a post, a post Red Cane 243 made for us talking about high scores. So how this came up was, so Quetz and I used the same team, Beatrix, Selfie, Tara, friend Beatrix, for an event. It may have been the Roses of May event. Let me look. So it was the Roses of May event, so that's popped up on my screen. So Quetz beat it in 33 turns, lost 0 HP, had 0 breaks. His score, 200,026. I beat it in 35 turns, 2 more turns, 0 HP loss, and 2 breaks. So 2 more turns, 2 breaks, and I got a score of 233,000. Yeah, so any ideas? Any ideas why that would be? I do actually know why now. do you guys quick?
You said no launches, right?
Yes, we did figure out that neither one of us did launches in the battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I was reading through the show notes and I actually, as I was reading this part, I was like, "Oh, like, I remember this thing was said," and literally the next line in the show notes is, someone said this thing. So I was like, literally, my response to this was what is going to be next. So I don't know how much extra
Yeah,
I could compensate.
yeah.
I'm
So
cursed with knowledge.
yeah. So it sounds like the only reason that I got more score is because of overkill, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. Another example of this was GRW18 took Kate Sith instead of Selfie, beat the EX in 42 turns as opposed to 35. 0 HP lost, 1 break for a score of 190. I did a run with 41 turns, so 1 turn less, 0 HP, 1 break for 170. So 190 versus 170, but I did it in less turns. So Red Cane posted this on Reddit, and we did get the actual formula. So if you don't know how score is tabulated, I'm not going to read the entire formula. If you're interested, it's going to be in the show notes, or you can check it out on Reddit at RedCane243 in his post. It's in one of the responses. So the formula, of course, we knew it was based on turn number. So the higher the turn number, the lower the score, right? Or the lower the turn number, the higher the score. So that's the main thing. It's also based on total enemy HP. So the more HP enemy has, the higher your score is going to be. That you have nothing to do with that, right? It's just that's how one thing is 250,000 versus another, which is 75,000, right? Then you get bonus points for overkills, breaks. You get bonus points for overkill and chase actions. You get negative points. You lose points for breaks and KO and HP lost. And HP lost is a big one. It's actually bigger than KO, I believe. HP loss is quite a large chunk. So, yeah, if you're looking to increase your score, lower your number of turns, lower your number of breaks, lower your number of HP loss. Of course, if you get KO'd, it's ridiculous. Yes, thank you, Mana, for sharing that on Twitch. But actually, overkill does a considerable amount of bonus damage. So that's why you bring a character like Squall, kill the mobs, and overkill all the mobs. Yeah. One Winged Devil said KO seems like more than HP loss.
I think
KO is pretty significant. Yeah.
I think the way the formula is done there is slightly incorrect. I think HP loss is meant.
Okay, so KO and HP loss probably switched in that equation. You think?
No. I would say it does exactly that, but just take the HP loss part out till the very end. So calculate everything else. The number of turns, the total HP, and blah 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 blah, and your multiplication all the way down. So say you get a score of 120,000.
Okay.
And you lost 5,000 HP at the very end.
Okay.
You subtract that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's the way it goes.
Okay. Right. So yeah, KO HP loss takes a lot. Breaks take a little bit. But overkill actually does add a lot. You get you get a fairly decent modifier per chase action, not per number of launches, but actually per action in chase. So if you launch someone and you get 1 turn, that's one thing. But if you launch someone and you get 3 turns, that's more points for you in the same launch. That's how I'm reading it. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, that's it.
But it's also the number of overkills, just total overkills, not damage you overkill by. It's just number of overkills. So everything, every time you overkill some PUD, you're going to get some extra points. So, yeah.
So that's why Squall, I think, is.
That's why Squall's pretty good.
Extremely. He just overkills all the trash. That's every wave right. He gets 3 overkills.
Yeah.
So I think you pointed out there when we were talking about before this was if the fight lasts 33 turns, every overkill you get is worth more than turn saved.
Yeah.
It's So do we have a formula on what qualifies as an overkill?
I don't know.
I think there was some discussion about that, but I'm not sure that there's an official take on what
Numerical
actually
value.
is an overkill?
Hmm.
There might be a value even associated with each enemy. Like it might be like for small stuff it's
I think it's
10.
a percentage of their HP or something in one hit. That's how it was in FF10. I don't know if they carried that over. Like if you did 20% of their HP in one hit or something as a kill. But moving on from that, overkills are equal to a full launch. Like if you get a launch and 2 follow-ups.
Yeah.
Um, I think that I put notes here on your thing because you said our overkill is the best way to inflate score, and I wanted to say I think launches are easier
Yeah.
because
Right.
a full launch gives you just as much as an overkill, and that's why the whole launch battery meta was a thing. And launches are easier to perform, and you have more opportunities for them, right? You have more control over that.
Yeah.
You can also overkill on a launch, effectively getting both bonuses. And in fact, it's much easier to do so because launches amplify damage. And the entire reason the battery launch meta became a thing is because scores were getting to a point where good play was no longer enough to reach them. You had to
Yeah.
start cheesing with launches and overkill. Battery launch team sets you up to inflate your score with minimal effort.
Yep. No doubt.
So just
No
like the
doubt.
most recent Reminiscence then basically.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. The second one I thought was much harder than this one because
What?
once I saw Cecil was synergy, I had to pull him out to get the score. I don't think I could have done that launch list,
I think I
honestly.
did it launches with using Squall. Like you remember Squall was on
Yeah,
that.
I
Like
didn't.
he just
Yeah, I didn't use
wiped
Squall.
through everything.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah.
where your problem was.
Squall was on Advent or Escalate. Escalate was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Squall was on that, so that was real fun.
Oh, to address One Wing Devil says he feels like KO is more of a penalty than HP lost. I think it's because KO is also HP lost. If a character gets KO'd
Yeah. Right.
and they get revived, and even if they get healed, that all their HP before the death can't be recovered. Because you know how healing is supposed to recover HP lost? Well, if they
Right.
die, you can't recover the previous life's HP. So that all stacks up.
No,
And it,
you can't recover the overkill. So
oh,
if you
right, the
have
overkill. Yeah.
yeah, so if you have 7,500 HP and you get killed by 7,500, if you revive that character and heal them all the way back up to 7,000 HP, you're forever going to be minus that 500 HP. You can't get that back.
Yeah.
Hmm. Very interesting.
But
Well,
yeah,
next week, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, but I've never done a post for it, so we will do it next week. So look for Reddit. I'll be posting under RevHP on Reddit. What is your pull strategy moving forward? Not necessarily who are you pulling for, but how are you going to approach pulling, and really, how are you going to approach pulling for relics in an era where we're going to have more and more characters who need their EX weapon to shine, right? Once we get really to Kuja, right? Kuja's going to come back out with a great EX weapon, and then you're going to have a series of characters who, just like Noctis, if you want to use Noctis, you want his EX weapon. If you want to use Garnet right now, you want her EX weapon. For Beatrix to be really good, I think you want her EX weapon. And then moving forward, all these big characters, Renoa, Quistis, Vayne, Salador, who else you want to tuck? Charlotta, Garland just came out. You're going to want their EX weapon. So how do you pull in an EX strategy kind of era? Or how are you just personally going to pull moving forward? So let us know. Respond on Reddit. You can join us in our Discord and share with us there in our Crystal Chronicles channel. Yeah, and we'll talk more about that next week as we talk about Leon.
now that you mentioned that Discord, Mark, do you happen to have a link there that I could possibly click on to easily go there?
Yeah, if the bot would tell me how to do this, then I could do this, but I don't have a bot yet, so I will link this in Discord. If you're listening at home, you can just go to tccpodcast.com, or you can look in the show notes on whatever you're listening to, and you can find a link to our Discord channel. This is our official The Crystal Chronicles Discord channel. So if you want to talk to me or Mino or Pierre or Manta or Crease
Who wants to
or
talk to me? Don't be
anybody
crazy.
else who is one of our contribution team, you may certainly do that. So Yeah, a couple shout outs, and I'm going to do it a little differently because everybody's doing so much work. I just thank you all for helping. These are some of our friends who are also contributors to content for this game, whether it's videos, Twitch streaming, all that kind of stuff. There's just a lot going on. So we always do a shout out to 40, the Broadway Saiyan. He's always doing great evaluations on YouTube. He does stream on Twitch. He's in our Discord. He has his own Discord. So you can check him out, and we'll link his stuff in the show notes. Special thank you to Manta. Manta actually YouTubes and Twitch streams. Now, Manta, I have to tell you, this week I watched your last 2 or 3 Resident Evil 2 remake videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Not the
yeah.
full stream, but you've edited some on YouTube. They are freaking hilarious. I was pissing my pants. They were so funny. So go check out Mana. He streams some weird shit, but it's
well, but before you go on, sorry to interrupt you, but thank you very much. I'm glad you appreciate it, and I do really appreciate the kind words.
I don't know. There was something in one of your Resident Evil remake videos. I was just dying. You're gonna have to just check him out. Yeah, he has edited them so they're little short little vignettes. But yeah. I remember it. Not to spoil it for anybody else, but there's a section where you're kind of worked up, and I'm sure I think Mino was actually watching you while you were doing this. But in the YouTube video, you're so worked up that you changed the soundtrack of the game.
Oh yeah.
And so you guys will have to go check that out. But that was hilarious. I was just on the floor laughing with that. So yeah, check Mana out at YouTube and Twitch. Quetzalma is another one of our he does the bot for Discord. He just shared that bot on Reddit. So you can go to Reddit and check out Quetzalma, and he shares this wonderful bot that we use on Discord. Really helpful. He also streams, and he streams all the battles. So if you're looking for people doing the battles, and he uses sometimes some different teams, check out Quetzalma on Twitch at Quetz, Quetzalma on Twitch. And Manta is actually Mantakia, Mantaquia on Twitch for them. It's easier to search for people on Twitch than it is YouTube. Also, make sure to check out the official subreddit. We have a lot of friends on our Dissidia FFOO subreddit and contributors. I keep saying contributors, which is not how you say it at all. I have a graduate degree. Why can't I say contributors? Yes, contributors would be Zerink, who is Crease on our Discord and on Twitch right now. Macnull, not Mancol, but Macnull, Mantakia, and Quetzalma. They are all people who contribute. Son of a bitch. Contribute on Reddit every week. They do evaluations. They do preemptive strikes like Manta does. Just adding very good content, so go check them out. We always encourage you to go check out Dissidia Database, DissidiaDB.com. That is Rem's project. A lot of good information, and of course, our official Discord. So please support our friends who support the game and the content of the game. So upcoming events before we say adieu and any other closing thoughts, but we have a Leon event. Any Leon hype here? Anybody excited about Leon? Big Leon fans?
Where's Arrowlight?
Big
Oh
Leon
yeah,
fans?
Arrowlight, a resident FF2 girl. I didn't know somebody
Leon?
could like FF2 that much.
So Leon
Yeah,
is
pretty crazy
if you're not familiar with Final Fantasy II, Leon is Maria's brother, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And he is a Dark Knight, so if you like Dark Knights, because that's the best character class ever, at least by look, not by actual mechanics, you'll have another Dark Knight, and perhaps arguably a Dark Knight who works a little cooler than Cecil in Dissidia Final Fantasy FFOO. So we'll talk about that next week. We're also going to get Reminiscence Part 4, which will be Catharsis. I don't know who's going to be in that. Hopefully it will be cathartic, and you can run whoever you want. So who do you want to see on that banner? That's a final banner. We're going to have Yuffie, Yuffie, Hope, and Zaz. Yeah, Zaz 35 CP
Nice.
on that. Yeah. So
How are you
We
guys
trade
feeling
hope
about
out for
these
his
free
purse.
banners? I'm kind of disappointed with all the free banners we got this month, to be honest. I
Look,
know Kreese likes to yell at me about how we got a free Kate and a free Beatrix, and that is really nice. But the rest have been kind of garbage. Let's be honest.
I would say just never turn your nose up at something free. You know.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
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 But I do
Your
agree with you. Like, it's not,
your original statement. What do you think of all this free shit we're getting?
Yeah.
Oh man,
You
can
know
you
what?
believe?
That
I hate it.
no, I have to bring that up. I remember I
Ah.
caught myself in a very similar conversation yesterday because my friend and I were talking about, man, anniversary is giving us too much gold. Now I'm like capping on gold and I can't get the free rewards. The worst thing ever.
I'm not capping on gold.
And then 2 minutes in the conversation, I'm like, wait, we're complaining about Square Enix giving us a shit ton of gold.
Yes.
Like, we can't really.
I have just as another topic, I have more gems and more tickets than I've ever had, and that is after pulling on Kate Sith, Beatrix, and Garnet.
Yeah.
I'm at
I-
an
I
all-time
have-
low for tickets.
I have more tickets. I have over
Crazy.
200 tickets, and I have over 80,000 gems.
What the hell? Holy crap! Is that the? Wow. Oh, you must have gotten super lucky on Beatrix or in Kate Sith, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't dump a lot on anybody, so yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm at 40K, I think, and 0 tickets. How about you, Monta?
Nice. Nice.
80k 0 tickets. I've been spending every single ticket I get on
Same,
Egg
but you
World of
still have
Warcraft.
80K. Jesus. I'm probably the only one here pulling on Orin too. Like One Wing Devil says, real hype for Orin LC in 11 days.
Yes.
I'll. Did you just laugh?
Yeah, no hype for Orin LC.
I'll
Get
throw what I do for every banner to answer the question of the week next week prematurely is I'll throw one multi-pull and dump all the events tickets on it.
Sure.
Just in case I get an EX, which is the case with Garnet here. I had no expectations and ran away with an EX, so.
You gotta save it for when it's important. At the moment, EXs don't matter. You need to wait till the character is like, the meta shifts again. You've got a good enough cast, I think, now to see you through until the next.
I mean, we're gonna talk about Orin when Orin comes out, but what's Orin add? Like, Orin is one of my favorite characters. I love Orin. He is like the badass of Final Fantasy, right? Orin is a great character. He's got a great story arc. I mean, he's just great.
Jack is better.
Okay.
No.
He's not.
Yes.
But anyway, regardless,
we're gonna fight about this when the LC comes out.
But what
Look,
is
I have a
what is
question for you,
Orin?
okay?
What is Orin doing for your team right now?
So he is very similar to Garnet in so many ways because his whole thing is imperils and enabling these weird ass team comps that wouldn't otherwise work. And again, the consensus in JP was that it's EX or bust for Orin. But if he gets his EX, he can have 100% uptime on melee imperil,
Right.
which is a huge deal.
Yep.
Because there's so many melees in the game. Like, imagine the possibilities of team building if you can have melee imperil up all the time.
Yeah. Again, it's another tool in the toolbox, but perhaps not, just like Garnet, not a necessary.
I mean, that's a Zell situation right there, What would you do if you had 60% defense debuff up the entire time?
So Orin in a couple weeks, and we're gonna be a little bit slow over the next 2 weeks with content, or regular in content for everybody else. Leon on Sunday, Reminiscence on Wednesday, Orin on Sunday. So there we go. That should take us for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts? Thank you, guys. We miss Pierre. Pierre, thank you for spending time with your family. Pierre's okay. He just had some family over and things going on with the kids. So hope they had a good time.
Thanks for
covering, Mark. I'm right here. What are you talking about?
Thanks for covering, Monta.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. Like I said, guys, I enjoy calling and annoying you guys. So it's very nice of you to allow me to do that.
I still want to hear that story from the other day that you were streaming that Mino wouldn't let you finish.
Next
maybe,
Off
drunk
the air.
stream.
Off
Next
the air.
drunk
maybe
stream.
maybe you can share it
Next-
once the stream is done. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from your friends at the Crystal Chronicles, this is Mark and Mino and Manta. Thank you all. You guys have a great and lucky week as you pull and spend all of your hard-earned gems and tickets to get that beautiful Furion EX. I mean, excuse me, spoilers. Leon 35 and all those things. So we'll see you next week.
Take it easy.
And cut. I'm going to stop the recording for Pierre.